Do you ever find yourself questioning, am I making the right decision? You're overthinking and overanalyzing all the options in front of you, trying to find the perfect one. Should I start my own business? Or should I stay at my 9 to 5? Should I move to a different country? Or should I stay at the place where I'm living right now? Should I invest in this program? Or should I save some money? And this is a topic that I work through with all of my clients, because every single time you're moving into a new chapter in your life, you are faced with this challenge and this question. And it's important that you learn how to navigate this, because otherwise you will stay stuck in the same place, only with more and more frustration. So in this video, I'll give you 3 ways on how you can make the right decision. And these are ways that I use with all of my clients and also in my personal life. And the first one that I'll share with you is a very big concept. And I believe this concept is not talked about enough. Because if you master this one, you will master all areas of life. And it's the question of, where am I making the decision from? From what place, internal place, am I making the decision? Because I believe you create external mastery through internal mastery. And what most people do is they have all the options in front of them and they ask themselves the question, what is the right decision? But I believe it's far more important to ask yourself, from what place am I actually making the decision? What lens am I looking through? Because the lens that you're looking through determines what is right and what is wrong. It determines what you feel and experience and what you think. So let's imagine you want to start your own business. And there are some weeks that you feel very inspired and motivated to make this decision. But then there are days and weeks where you don't feel any motivation at all. And it maybe even feels better and right to stay at your 9 to 5. And this switching comes from you switching the place that you're making the decision from. If you're making a decision from a place of fear, you will make a different decision compared to making the decision from a place of possibility. If you're looking through the lens of, I want to please other people, I want to please my parents, or I want to please society with the decision that I'm making, a different decision will feel right compared to looking from a place of, how do I want to live my life? What is important to me? What do I want to be creating and building in life? If you're looking from a place of your past self, you will see different things compared to looking from a place of your future self, your potential, the possibilities of what could be. And I hope that you see where I'm going with this, because I believe when you connect to the right place to make the decision from, the right decision will automatically present itself. And this is how you can create external mastery through internal mastery. So I believe the best place you can make a decision from is from a place of expansion, from a place of possibility, excitement, inspiration, freedom, peace. From a place not to please others, but to align yourself with, how do I want to live my life? And how do you even know the place that you're making a decision from? Because this is very important. You can connect with this by slowing down. It's very important when you have decisions in front of you that you slow down and that you feel. Does this decision feel expansive or constricting? Does it feel full or does it feel empty? And these are the feelings that you want to connect to, because this will reveal the information that you need, as in, am I making it from a place of fear or am I making it from a place of possibility? And when you slow down enough as well, you will hear all the stories that you have around these decisions. And then maybe what comes up is, maybe I'm staying at my 9 to 5 because I believe this is what my parents want to see from me. And once you start to see and hear these stories, that's when you can shift and change the place that you're making a decision from. What if you would make the decision from a place of possibility? What would be the most exciting decision to be making? The most adventurous one? What is the future that you want to be creating and building? And which decision aligns with that future? So to complete this topic, don't ask yourself the question, what is the right decision? Ask yourself the question, from what place am I making this decision? And the second point that I want to share with you is a story about the farmer and the sun. So, of course, within the story, there are some original lessons that everybody knows, but there are some hidden lessons in the story as well that I want to highlight. So, the story is the following. There was a wise old farmer who lived with his son in a small village. And one day, their only horse ran away. So the villagers came to them and said, "What a terrible luck." And the farmer replied, "Maybe, maybe not. We'll see." And a few days later, the horse returned, bringing with it several wild horses. And the villagers were all excited. What a great fortune. And the farmer again said, "Maybe, maybe not. We'll see." The next day, the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses, but he was thrown off and broke his leg. And the villagers told him, "How awful." And the farmer remained calm and said, "Maybe, maybe not. We'll see." Soon after, the army came to the village to recruit young men for war. And because of his broken leg, the son couldn't go to war. So the villagers were all excited again. How lucky. And again, the farmer said, "Maybe, maybe not. We'll see." And the core lesson, of course, of this story is acceptance and detachment. But the lesson that I want to highlight is, what if the wrong decision is actually the right decision? How do you know what is right and wrong? Because your ego is analyzing life on the spectrum of right and wrong. What is right is when you get everything that you want, and the wrong thing is you don't get what you want. So if we take the business example again, you start your own business and you fail. So the ego will tell you this is a wrong decision because you failed. But what if in that failure, you learned lessons that you're taking with you in building your second business? And this second business far exceeds what you thought was possible. It exceeds all your expectations. Was the first wrong decision actually a wrong decision or a right decision? Because of these lessons, you are able to create this second business. And this is where you don't know. You don't know what is right and what is wrong. You can only see the purpose of all the decisions and all the experiences in hindsight. And this is where I believe right and wrong doesn't exist. All the decisions will lead you to the place where you are meant to be. But the difficult thing is that you don't know what this exact place is. And you will only realize this and realize the purpose of it all by moving through it, by making all the decisions. Similar to the story of the farmer. When the son hopped on the wild horse and he fell off, broke his leg, we could say, well, this was a wrong decision because he broke his leg. So this is the limited view of the ego that is analyzing life on right and wrong only with the direct outcomes that you could see. But what if you would look far into the future? You don't know if this decision and this outcome is right or wrong. Maybe it serves a bigger purpose that you can't see yet, because for the son, he didn't have to go to war. And the different example is, you see this when they interview successful people and they ask the question of, if you could go back to your younger self, what advice would you give? Or what would you change if you look back at your life? What changes would you be making? What would you do differently? And what these people often say is, I wouldn't change a single thing. Because all the experiences, good and bad, maybe the easy ones, but also all the traumas, all the hardship, all the challenges, they brought them to this point of their life. So they don't want to change a single thing. And if you connect to this truth, that means it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if the outcome is positive or negative, because it will lead you to the place where you are meant to be. It all serves a purpose. In every single experience is a gift and a lesson waiting for you, which means you can't make a wrong decision. And feel into the possibility. What would it feel like if you can't make a wrong decision? This feels like freedom. Because you're only afraid of making a wrong decision because you think a wrong decision exists, but they don't. And if you connect to that truth, that means you're free to do whatever you want. And the last point that I want to share with you is a distinction that I learned between decisions and choices. Around 1.5 years ago, I was stuck because I was afraid to make a wrong decision. So I was stuck in the same place for at least a month. And I brought this topic into one of my own coaching sessions. And this is when my coach shared this distinction with me. And it was the distinction between decisions and choices. So a decision is something that you think about. You analyze all the possibilities that could happen. You have a complete pros and cons list. And with all the data that you gathered about all the positive outcomes, all the negative outcomes, you make a calculated, perfect decision. And this is how most people and most adults are making decisions. But a choice is different. Let's imagine a little boy walking into a store, and he is allowed from his parents to choose a toy. So he walks into the store and he just looks around and he sees a toy and he says, this is the one that I want. And he just grabs it. In that moment, the boy made a choice. If you would ask the boy, why did you choose that toy? He wouldn't have clear arguments and a clear reason why he made that choice. Most people should make more choices in life. It's very important for them to make more choices instead of decisions. Because when you are making decisions, you analyze, of course, all the positive things that can happen, but also all the negative things. And by analyzing all the negative scenarios, worst case scenarios, that's the moment you feel paralyzed. You think that with more information, you make better decisions, but actually the opposite is true. Because with more information, you will only paralyze yourself. The ideas that you have, the projects that you want to be pursuing, the dreams that you want to realize, they don't make any sense to your family, to your friends, to society. They might not even make sense to you. And why are you trying to make sense out of it? It doesn't have to make sense, because the best decisions are not the ones that look perfect on paper. The best decisions are made from a place of, I feel drawn towards this thing, I don't understand why, but I trust it, and I follow it, and I make this choice. When I move to a different country, for example, people around me ask me, why are you doing this? Why are you moving to that country without any preparation? And I could give a very clear, calculated answer. So I was sure that they didn't think I was stupid, or that they would definitely support my idea and the decision that I'm making. But if I was completely honest, my honest answer would be, because I want to, because I feel drawn towards it. And I believe this is the best answer that you can give. When people ask you, why are you starting your own business? Because I want to. Why do you move to a different country? Because I want to. Why are you starting with posting content all of a sudden? Because I want to. You don't have to justify anything. You were ready the moment you received the dream. That is all the permission that you need to pursue it. You don't have to justify anything towards other people. The fact that you are chosen and that you've been gifted this vision is enough clarity that you need to go after it. So this is why I believe, and this is also the way that I'm living life, is as close to my heart and as close to my impulses as possible. Because all the answers are already inside of you. You already know what the right decision is. If you look at the first point that I mentioned, the place that you want to make a decision from, you know what the most powerful decision is. You already feel drawn towards something for a reason, but your ego wants to analyze everything because it wants to keep you safe and in control. And these are also some final thoughts that I want to share with you, because by not making a decision, you're still making a decision. You're making a decision to stay stuck in the same place that you're in right now. And it might seem not that bad to stay comfortable in the bubble that you've created for yourself right now. But just imagine if you wouldn't make a decision for another year, for another 5 years, for another 10 years. Where would you end up in life if you keep pushing, making a decision to the future? And I want you to feel this pain of regret, because that's what you're choosing. Because there will be a moment where you don't have the opportunity anymore to pursue the dreams and goals that you have, where the opportunity is stripped away from you. And how would that feel? Because making the right and wrong decisions, we often have a very short-term, limited view. But if we look at the long term, first of all the wrong decisions that we're making don't even matter in the first place. And also, you will connect to the pain of not making a decision at all. And this will get you also emotion to make a decision, because you have only one life. And this is where I often connect to my mortality as well. And what helped me to make more decisions and faster decisions was involving other people in my decision making. Because the moments I worked with a coach, with a mentor, I discussed my options with friends or in a community, this was the moment I made faster decisions and I could get ahead faster. And this is also what I'm sharing with my clients. Oftentimes, clients come to me and they've procrastinated on a decision for years. So let's imagine they make only one decision, one crucial, important decision in a year. Then they wouldn't have much progress. But if they would make, let's say, 10 or 20 decisions in a month, they will get ahead so much faster. And this is what happens when you are in conversation with like-minded individuals that challenge you and push your perspective. Because if you want to understand the place that you're making a decision from, this often only happens in conversation with other people, that you are able to connect to the truth. And this is also why I created the men's group that I'm running, because there are a lot of guys in there that have been working a 9-to-5 for most of their life, 12-hour days for 5 times a week. And they were able to make the shift to starting or going full-time with their own business because they changed the place they were making a decision from. They recreated their whole relationship with this whole topic. And this is the power of operating in a community, because you have individuals around you that already walk the path that you want to start walking on. And to be talking to them, to be connecting with them and see how they are perceiving life, you will connect to different parts inside of you that you didn't know existed. You will meet yourself, but not just yourself, but the highest potential of yourself. And if you start making decisions from that place, that's when your life will never be the same in a positive way. So if you're interested to try out the community for free, then you can fill out the application form in the link below and we'll hop on a call to see if things are in alignment for you. And on that note, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.